Shalom folks, this is Yotam again with Jewish Family Service of Utah. This is our second part in our weekly series about raising emotionally intelligent children. This week, we're going to be talking about parenting styles. But before we jump too much into the content, let's take a minute and think about our own pasts. A moment of self-reflection. Think back to the way you were parented as a kid. What was it like to bring your emotions to your parents? What was it like to be happy or sad or angry? How did they respond? Well, let's hold on to that, because it's important to remember that a lot of the way that we parent our kids comes from the way that we were parented ourselves. Alright, let's dive into it. According to Gottman research, there are 4 main parenting styles, and they are the dismissive style, the disapproving style, the laissez-faire style, and the emotion coaching style. Let's start by talking about the dismissing parenting style. Growing up, did you ever have your parents tell you, it's not that bad? Or, you don't need to feel sad, look at all these wonderful things around you. Well, you experienced the dismissing parenting style. The dismissing parenting style is one in which we minimize, trivialize, or sometimes outright ignore the emotional experiences of our kids. When we use this method of parenting, kids can sometimes feel unheard or ignored and can stop trusting their own experiences of their own emotions. It can lead to having difficulties in managing difficult situations where they might feel overwhelmed by their emotions. They can learn that some emotions are bad and need to be kept away and might try to stuff them down. And eventually, they might stop coming to us with their problems altogether. Next, let's talk about the disapproving parenting style. Do you ever remember your parents telling you something like, stop crying, nobody likes a whiner, or you need to stop being angry or I'm going to send you to your room? Well, you experience the disapproving parenting style. The disapproving parenting style is where we punish, either by words or by actions, our kids' emotions and their experience of them. The disapproving parenting style can lead kids to learn to distrust their own judgment and their own experience. It can lead to low self-esteem, and it can lead to them just generally not feeling like they can manage emotions at all. They try to stuff them away because they don't want to be bad. Now let's talk about that laissez-faire. Laissez-faire parenting can feel very different. Do you ever remember your parents telling you something like, it's okay, just cry it out? Or, wow, that really does sound like it makes you angry or sad. But then they didn't follow it up with any kind of support about what to do with those emotions? Well, that's the laissez-faire parenting style. And while it does offer a lot of space for kids to learn that it's okay for them to have their emotions, it can leave them feeling lost and indecisive about what to do next. Sometimes they'll find themselves having a hard time knowing what to do when they feel emotions and can get overwhelmed by them in the long run. The last parenting style I want to talk about today is emotion coaching. Emotion coaching parents might look a lot like laissez-faire at the beginning because it starts with empathy. It starts with an understanding that the kid's experience is real and valid. But emotion coaching parents know that it's not about having emotions that are good or bad. It's about how we deal with them that matters. An emotion coaching approach to parenting is one where we both accept people's emotions as what they are, but also know how to limit behaviors, and in such, teach our kids how to deal with these emotions when they show up. An emotion coaching parent might deal with a situation something like this. They might say something along the lines of, I know you're mad. I would be mad as well, especially if she took that toy from me. But we can't throw stuff at people when we get mad. Maybe we can stop and think about ways together that you can manage what to do when you feel this way in the future. You'll note that both there's an acceptance of the emotion that the kid has, but also there's a limit to the behavior. It allows kids to learn to both accept and also navigate emotional experiences. So those are the 4 parenting styles. What's your go-to? What comes naturally or easily to you? What would you like it to be? Now, if you're not a 100% all the time emotion coaching parent, that's okay. It can be really tiring to be an emotion coach. Sometimes we're exhausted from all the things we have to do in our day-to-day life. And it can be a really big burden to throw on a day-to-day, every emotion coach. But luckily, research shows that even if 20% of our interactions, that's 1 in 5, are emotion coaching, it can have significant impacts on the way that our kids interact with their own emotions. And just like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Next week, we're going to talk about the 5 steps to emotion coaching and what that looks like. But before then, maybe we can spend a little bit of time paying attention to our own selves. Over the next week, see what kind of parenting style is your go-to. What comes naturally to you? Well, until next week, shalom, and see you later.